everybody, how's it going? Like Willie said, my name's Victoria Kelly. I'm a caliber educator as well as a stylist behind the chair. I'm in my beautiful salon here, Rituals Beauty Studio in Cincinnati, Ohio. And this is going to be a little mannequin we're working on today with our VaPure flat iron. This has an infrared technology that you can see on the inside of that. And you can see the VaPure coming out of it as well. So I've already prepped the hair with a little bit of thermal protectant because that's step one anytime we're doing a heat styling. Would you all agree with that? Protecting your guest's hair and their color, especially when it's a fashion color, if your iron's too hot. Has anybody noticed that the color can come right out of the hair if it's too hot? So thermal protectant, spray that in, comb that through. Make sure the hair's 100% dry before you're putting any iron on it, especially if you're using like a wet heat protectant like this one. An aerosol one would be fine as well. So I'm just gonna comb the hair, make sure there's no tangles in it. Then I'm gonna show you the real magic of our VaPure iron. I love watching the steam come out. So I'm gonna go in, get close to the root and kind of bend so we can get a little bump and a little bit of volume there. Wait till you see the shine on this hair. Compared to this piece that hasn't been ironed yet. You can really see the shine difference in it just from one pass of our VaPure iron. Who can tell me what infrared technology does to the hair? Feel free to drop any comments. And I'm just moving up the head, quarter inch by quarter inch section. So what infrared technology does, it penetrates the cuticle of the hair to give you a longer lasting shine, smoothness, and a style. Plus it's less damaging on the hair than your traditional iron would be as well. Now, I love a bigger iron, especially when I'm doing some nice waves in the hair. So that's something else you can do with this. So I'm gonna bump it at the root a little bit, put my comb underneath, and then do one slow pass. And then repeat on the other section, the other subsection. And I'm just bending the ends under a little bit. So I'm gonna do one quadrant straight. I'm gonna do another one with some wave and another one with some curl in it as well. How does that sound for everyone? Has anybody used a VaPure iron before? No, no comments? Is it just me, Joey, and Willie on here? All of the homies are supporting. We love that. So we're still bending it and giving it a nice shine throughout the hair. Also, what's really neat about this iron is you can turn off the VaPure if you choose to, and it can just be used like a traditional iron. And you're still getting the infrared technology and the smoothness and shine throughout the hair. But I like using the VaPure, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that back on. And you get 5 different temperature settings as well, anywhere from 280 all the way up to 430 degrees Fahrenheit, not Celsius. So I'm going to turn this up just one more to 360. I didn't realize how low it was. Bump the base and smooth out. I seriously can't get over that shine just from an iron. A bit more thermal protectant. Does anybody know how far the infrared and VaPure technology can penetrate the hair? I'll give you a couple minutes to look that up and answer. Can't get over the shine every single time. It's always mind-blowing to me. Another thing you do need to make sure when you are putting water into your iron, make sure it's distilled water and not just tap water. To finish up this quadrant, we'll move on to some curls and some waving techniques as well. So bump the base a little bit and then smooth it on out. The nicest part is there's no sort of sizzle. This isn't a steam iron, it's a VaPure iron. Steam is literally cooking the hair inside out. With the VaPure technology and the infrared technology, it's actually going to give you that shine and that longer lasting look as well. Did you know it can also repair the cuticle of the hair too? Fun little fact, when I first was playing around with the VaPure iron, I was shocked to know that. Like, here's our little box, plus it's a fun color. All of your information is going to be back here as well. And I love the swivel cord, so it stays out of the way.
Victoria, we have a question, which is, are you able to turn the nano mist on and off and use it just as a traditional flat iron?
Yes, you can turn the nano mist on and off and use it as a traditional flat iron. So that would be this button at the bottom here that has the little mist logo on it. I use it as a traditional flat iron probably 50% of the time, and then the other half I'll use it as the VaPure iron. So it kind of depends on what you're looking for with your guests, but I do feel that there's more benefits with using the VaPure. So we can compare it this way, because I'll do this section without the mist. Take a peek at the difference in with or without the mist. This top layer is still pretty and shiny, right? So once we separate it, let's compare it to a layer with the steam. So with, without. Can we see the difference? This definitely has more shine and a little bit more sleekness as well, but it's still going to be nice for the hair because you're still having the infrared technology to use, but it really can make such a difference.
What are the heat settings again, Victoria?
We have 5 different heat settings from 280 to 320, and everything's labeled right here for you too, which is nice, so you always know what temperature you're going to. So 280, 320, 360, 390, and 430. Once again, Fahrenheit, not Celsius. And I'm using it on 360. I'm going to turn my nano mist back on.
And when you get a chance, can you show us the water reservoir and where it's located?
So the water reservoir is, there's our little nano mist, is right here. And what you do, pop this open, really easy, and then this comes out and it comes with a little bottle. Let me turn this off and then I'll show you. Okay, iron's turned off now, no lights on, besides this blinking light, and that's how you know it's not on. but you just push this little lever here and that'll flip out. And then you fill it with your distilled water. So you open the back of it with a little black, I guess this is silicone piece, and then you can put your water in that way. Again, distilled water, we don't want anything funky getting in our guest's hair. And then we just slide this back on. Just like that. This also has a locking mechanism. Turn it up. And it's not gonna open up on you. So it saves you a little bit of space. It's great for travel too. So then you don't have to worry about the iron opening up. So it's gonna save you some space in your suitcase. If you're like me, you're traveling at least once a month, sometimes more for work or any other trips that I decide to go on. So I'm gonna clip this section out of the way since we already got that one taken care of. So now I'm gonna move on to this front subsection here. So again, going in with my heat protectant. Comb your thermal protection through, make sure the hair is 100% dry. And let me get my iron turned back on. So hold it in for 3 seconds, and then you can adjust your your temperature settings right at the top. So I'm going to turn it back to 360. And then I'm going to turn my steam on, which is the bottom button as well, and it'll have a solid green light. So now this is dry, you know your iron's on by the infrared there, and there is your nano mist coming out. Take my subsection, I'm going to bump the root a little bit to give her some volume. I do one pass, and then I'm just going to twist and give her a little bit of a bend and a curl to the hair. So once this is combed out, it's going to be a nice pretty wave throughout the hair. And you know, if you don't like it, like I did not like that curl, I'm just going to go right back over it. Should I have probably done 2 subsections within that section? Yes, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So take a 1-inch subsection, and then we're going to curl and just rotate it. And this nano mist is not going to burn you or your guest at all. It doesn't hurt. So that's not something you have to necessarily worry about either. And I'm going to rotate my iron the other way, and then we're going to turn towards the face.
That's the great thing about this flat iron is it's not a steam flat iron. It is not taking the water and boiling it to create steam, which literally boils the hair, right? The infrared creates nano mist, which is still a cool mist, and it's much healthier on the hair than your traditional steam flat iron.
I like to alternate my curls. Plus we have the 360 swivel, so this isn't getting tangled or in the way. Because who has poor cord management? Me, I'm that person. My stuff's always getting tangled because I have so many tools. I guess that's not such a big problem to have, but when you're trying to blow dry your clay, it gets annoying. So this swivel cord helps a lot to keep me organized too. And we're just doing a nice little flat iron curl or wave with this since it is a larger iron. I like that it is so big because we can get more hair done quicker too, with less passes as well, while maintaining the health of your guests or yourself's hair.
The VaPure is typically $149.99. However, Victoria, I believe, has a promo code for you to help so you can save 15%.
VK at checkout.
Yeah, if you didn't catch that, it's the letter V as in Victoria and the letter K as in Kelly. And it'll save you 15% off anything on the website, including the VaPure.
And if the VaPure is not your thing or you need a smaller iron, we have amazing 1-inch ceramic flat irons as well. So we have options for everybody out there, which is why like Caliber is such a cutting edge technology they're using and company. Wait till you see our new clippers that are going to be dropping. Or trimmers and clippers that have just dropped. Clippers have dropped, trimmers are dropping. So since we're getting closer to the face, this front section, I'm curling everything away.
We're always looking for brand ambassadors. You can email me, Willie, Willy, at caliberprocorp.com. For those of you who have seen the Disruptor, it's available for pre-order now. Victoria's promo code will work on the pre-order for the Disruptor as well.
The nice thing is with the VaPure too, since we have this hollow section, I guess we would call it more hollow section, you don't have to worry about the steam coming out. That's not what is smoothing your client's hair. It's everything that's passing through here that is, and the hot plates. And this is a heat resistant comb, so don't do that with a regular plastic comb. Carbon combs are our friends. Now this last section, I'm gonna pull it a little bit lower and then start curling it away from the face. So she can kind of mimic more of a fringe. Like that instead of a curl being all the way up here. Not everybody really likes that. And then this top layer, once again, I'm gonna curl that away from the face, but I'm gonna start that a little bit lower. So I'm gonna bump the root a little bit and then just pull this through the hair. There we go. So we can curl. We still have that nice shine with it. Same thing with the back of the head. And let's, do we want to see some beachy waves with this? Or what kind of other styling would we like to see?
The flat iron only comes in one size. We do not have various size in the VaPure. However, we do have other traditional flat irons, curling irons that do come in multiple sizes.
And the VaPure does only come in pink for the time being. I don't know if that's ever going to change, but it is pink. I wish it was black like my soul, but you know, I like pink too. So comb out all the tangles before we start doing anything. No matter how many times you brush a mannequin, they're always tangly. I don't know. Maybe it's the me problem. Thermal protection. And we're gonna do some like beachy, mermaidy waves on this quadrant. So one of my favorite ways to go about doing that is I elevate the hair on a 45-degree angle high. And then I like to bump it. Wait till you can't see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna elevate the hair, heat up that root, and then I'm gonna bump, and then flip, and then flip. And then I pull those ends straight so we don't get that weird kind of wave at the bottom of the hair. But we've created that nice mermaid wave with only using one tool.
For those of you who are just joining us on Instagram, this is Victoria Kelly, one of our Caliber educators. Victoria is using the VaPure infrared flat iron with nano mist.
This is what the little box looks like. And we're creating some mermaid waves in this quadrant of the head. So taking a smaller subsection, I'm gonna split that in half and clip that up. Comb it out of the wave. And then I like to hold the hair up on a high 45, bump the base, and then we're gonna bend and flip the hair. And then at the very bottom, I pull the end straight so it's still a little messier. We don't have that weird curl in or that flip out that sometimes when we're waving our hair can happen. Take my other section again. flip it, bump, bump, and then pull those ends straight. Since this is going to be most of the underneath of the head, I don't want it to get too poofy up here. Hence why I'm starting my waves about halfway to 3/4 of the way down the head. So the higher up on the head I get, the more I'll do the waves higher up. Unless they want really voluptuous hair, then start it at the root. I'm going to split this section in half vertically. Bump the root. Now I can start going higher up on the head with the waves and then pull those ends straight. We can see how this just created a lot more volume since I started the wave up higher this time versus the underneath section. So from the occipital down is where I'm going to start it further, and then moving up from the parietal through the crown is where my waves are going to be even higher up on the head. What questions do we have? And depending on how many flips you do is how many waves you're going to see throughout the head. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Since I'm on the wider part of the head, I'm splitting my subsection vertically. Then we're going to bump and flip, 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 pull the end straight. Keeping tension when creating this style is going to make a huge difference to a longer lasting look, and B, making sure you're getting the waves as evenly as possible throughout the head. So still elevating this up a little higher. Bump, flip, and pull the end straight.
Victoria, we have a question, which is how do you know when to curl inward to the face or outward away from the face? How do you make that determination?
How I make that determination is how my clients wear their hair. And it depends on if they want it out of their face, like they can't stand their hair in their face like me, or if they want to have more of like a shaggier look, we can kind of turn it in towards the face a little bit more. So it just really depends on the client, but most of the time people like their hair out of their face or kind of flipped out a little bit. So typically I'll start my curl around their eyes and then slide my iron down and out like that. Or if they wanted to come in towards their face, just change the direction that you're curling the hair. Does that answer your question? A little bit more thermal protection.
That answers the question and they say thank you.
You're welcome. Just a little peek here. Let's go back to our subsection. Okay, so hold the hair up, bump, and flip. Dropping my subsection, and then once again, still splitting it vertically. Twist right at the root and keeping that tension. And then hold the end straight. So if I'm holding the hair up higher, that's what's going to push the volume into the hair. Now, if your guest didn't want any volume, you can absolutely keep the flat iron on a lower angle as you're waving the hair. So this side clearly has more volume than this side, and we can kind of see where the waves are sitting in the hair. And then on the front quadrant, I'll do some curls towards the face so we can kind of see the difference between away and what towards the face is going to look like. So again, I want volume, so I'm starting this way up here. And then pull the end straight. Yeah, way higher than this subsection. But I also like big hair. What other techniques would we like to see in the future? If anybody has any ideas, drop them in the comments and I'm happy to go about that with you too. So since this is the top section, right at the crown, I'm gonna split this into 2 sections. And then I'm really gonna get some volume up here. So I'm gonna completely over direct it and then flip and keep that tension. A lot more volume now. Now, because I don't want this sticking straight out of her head, I'm gonna keep it on a 90. As I'm, oh, take her whole head off. Don't do that to your clients. That's a little frowned upon, guys. Anyway, don't do this either. Come back to your top section at the crown of the head. And we can bump. Hold your guest's head on if necessary. And then pull the end straight.
Victoria, do you always use a heat protection before using flat irons and curling irons?
The question is, do I always use a heat protectant? 1000% yes. Yes, I use one when the hair is damp and I use a second one when the hair is dry. Keeping your guest hair healthy is what's going to keep them coming back to you versus them ending up with breakage and damage and things like that from not protecting. And if you don't do it behind the chair, how do you expect them to go home and take care of their own hair as well? Plus, if you retail products in your salon, you can explain, I love this because X, Y, and Z, and it's going to be your multi-purpose tool to make sure you have hold in your hair as well as shine and thermal protection, which is just something that this heat protectant does. So having some working knowledge in the products you're using can A, keep your guests' hair healthy, keep them coming back to you, and more retail sales for you as well. Does that answer your question? So anyway, I'm going to move on to this front quadrant. We can see our little mermaid waves with some volume. That's some big volume there. I like that. And now I'm going to curl this towards the face. So I still alternate even when I am curling the hair towards the face.
What's your favorite thing to do with this particular tool?
What is my favorite thing to do with the VaPure iron? I honestly love doing waves and curls. I love texture. I love big hair. So the different looks I can create with one tool, the more multi-purpose it is for me. So these are great if your guest hair is longer. Now, if they wanted a tighter curl, I would definitely opt for a thinner flat iron or curling iron. But I love big, wavy, messy hair, hence kind of my own. So I love creating that style for my guests too. So
Does Caliber offer a curling iron with infrared technology?
Caliber does offer a curling iron with infrared technology. We have the Luma, this little guy here. Well, this is the big guy. This is the 38 millimeter. But we also have is it 32 or 30?
32, yes.
So we do have a smaller size as well. Great question. So now I'm going to curl this towards the face for my guest. So I'm going to just bump the base a little bit to make sure I can get nice and close to the hairline without hurting them. And then I'm going to just rotate this on a half turn. And then there's our curl away from the face. So nice and springy, but it's still going to be really soft. So then on this next subsection, still taking a 1-inch parting, I'm going to split this into 2. So we don't get a unicurl, is what I like to call it, when they're all curled the same direction. I'm going to curl this piece away from the face, and then I'm going to curl this one towards the face again, and then alternating, moving all the way up the top of that section. So about a half turn. Keep staying in place, Miss Manicure. There we go. See, keeping your tension is important too. Otherwise, you're not going to get the same shape of curl that you're looking for. So this is just going to give it a more natural look, but still keep the hair going towards their face. Now this front section is going to go towards the face, and this back section is going to go away from the face. I also like to bricklay my sections a little bit as well when I'm working up the head. So you can see that I split this right here. No, you can't. My hand was in the way. You can see that I split this here. So I'm going to change my parting, either moving it back a little bit or moving it forward a little bit. Because I want a smaller piece that curls towards the face, I'm going to change my sectioning that way. You could also use a diagonal section instead of just doing horizontal and verticals also, depending on the type of look you're going for. But it just gives it a more natural, seamless look throughout the hair. Now this piece is going to go backwards. Just rotate.
Victoria, I'm going to jump in real quick and say, for those of you who are watching this on Instagram, we're live streaming this on Zoom and Facebook, and I literally have my phone set up just on live on Instagram. So if you're liking what you see here, but you would like a better quality video and audio, what I would recommend is you register for these classes on our website through Zoom, and then you'll have a much better audio and video experience, because unfortunately we can't stream live to Instagram through the Zoom platform. However, we will be doing Instagram lives starting in the near future, displaying tools and doing education just like we are today through Zoom.
All right. So definitely sign up for the Zoom classes. Keep the emails coming, and then we're happy to get you onto those classes. So since this subsection is still 1 inch width, but it's a little bit wider, I can take 3 sections for this. So we can see this is where the hairline starts to kick. So this is going to be the sectioning I'm going to take from, and this is going to go towards the face. And then going backwards and forwards on these other 2 subsections as well. So I already have my thermal protection in, and I typically base where I'm going to curl the hair off of the guest's face shape. So if the guest wants it up a little higher, then I'm going to start my curl higher. If they want it lower, then I'm going to start it lower. Where would you like to see this curl start? Eyebrow, eye, cheek, nose, chin, lip, whatever. That's where you're going to start your curl, and that's where you can start your rotating. So since I've kind of started this one like cheekbone area, this is where I'm going to start this curl. And then just slide through the hair. So it's still mimicking each other, just different ways of curling the hair.
That looks great, Victoria.
Thanks. I'm going to take my other subsection. So now I'm not mimicking this underneath. I'm going to move this over ever so slightly, and then we can bricklay. And now I'm going to curl this one away from the face. And curl that end just a little bit more. There we go. So with this piece being on top of this piece curling towards the face, it's going to leave a little bit more dimension into their hair and still make it look more natural. And now this last subsection, I'm going to curl towards the face. Now that we're on the very last subsection at the top of this quadrant, I'm still going to curl everything, this piece towards the face, just so it can mimic this. So I'm going to start this about 3/4 of the way down on the head, or maybe halfway down on the head. So everything's going to blend together when we brush it out and kind of style it out. Does that make sense? And also we're working with the round of the head too. So this piece is going to blend softly with this blue panel underneath here as well. And again, it's not going to fall into that unicurl because this is working with the head shape. Now, if I were doing straight lines, different story, it might fall together. But since we're working with the round of the head, it helps give it a more natural look. My iron, and then start about the same place. And then we're just gonna slide this through the hair. So we're mimicking the same look on the other side of the face, just with a different direction. So styling can make such a huge difference either in the same haircut, the same coloring effect. Like, I feel like you could see a huge difference in how these colors are popping, even though it's the same sectioning across the whole head.
Looks great. For those of you who are just joining us, we're live today with Caliber educator Victoria Kelly. She's using the infrared VaPure flat iron with nano mist, showing off the shine and longevity, also the health to the hair. If you don't already follow Victoria, she's going to tell you what her Instagram page is.
My Instagram page is at the Beauty Witch. Witch is with two V's as in Victoria, so VVITCH. And it's all one word. So because I was working with the round of the head, I'm still gonna curl this top section towards the face so we can still get that soft S wave around the face. Now this subsection, I'm going to split this in two. I'm going to curl this larger section away from the face and then this smaller one towards the face. Bump the root a little bit. And then just slide through the hair. And if you need to touch up the ends, make it a little curlier, you can. And on to my last subsection here, I'm going to curl this one towards the face.
Our next class will be on October 7th, Monday, October 7th at 1 p.m. Eastern with the real Joey Blades. Joey will be using some of our clippers for that class and our trimmers. He'll be doing a fading class. I would recommend, if you're watching this on Instagram, go to our website, Caliber Pro Corp, go to the education tab and register to watch via Zoom. I will be broadcasting live on Instagram again. However, the audio and video, when you register directly through Zoom and attend on the Zoom class, is much better than what we're able to get through the live stream on Instagram. So the real Joey Blades on October 7th. We have some amazing styling, cutting, and barbering education coming to you over the next several months that include scissor over comb, designs, different designs, how to create designs with clippers. So a lot of fun stuff coming your way.
So before I spray this mannequin down, I'm going to say sign up for Joey Blade's class. Your fading work is phenomenal and you should definitely learn from him. But so this is what the hair looks like as it's being curled towards the face and away from the face. You can really see a big difference in how much shinier the hair is with the VaPure versus this one subsection in the back that I didn't touch. So super pretty and shiny versus this clipped up piece or clipped up quadrant I didn't do. It definitely does not have the same shine effect. So it's sleeker, softer, shinier, and all that good stuff. Now I'm gonna go in with a liquid hairspray. If my pump's not clogged, I'm gonna steal my coworker's hairspray. And this one's an aerosol. This is still like a medium working spray, which is why I like a liquid hairspray, especially if I'm doing updos. It's a little tackier and has a little bit more hold. But anyway, this is a medium to strong hold. just lightly misting. And then I'm gonna go in with a cream. Just a little bit of it. So it's not gonna be as thick as an oil. If your guest has lighter hair, I like to go in with a lightweight cream like this. Work that through my palms, not my fingers, my palms. Then I'm going to go through and just smooth it out from the mids down. And it'll give it some shine and help kind of break up those waves that we were going for. And I'm going to smooth the ends back here a little bit. So we can see on this side that we can only really see the red and the orange and a little bit of the blue and green on the bottoms of the hair. But on this section, since I curled everything towards the face, we're going to be able to see the rest of the color a little bit better too. So I need to take a little bit more cream, half a pump, work it through my hands, just my palms, and pull this through the ends here. It's really making the rest of the colors kind of pop through, which is something I really like as I'm a colorist by heart. So we got the pink or the red, the orange. The mirror is throwing me off. Sorry, guys. And then we have our blue kind of popping through around the face as well. So we're still creating a similar look. It just depends on what your guest wants to show off more. But yeah, so this was all done with our VaPure iron. We have our smooth, sleek side. We have our mermaid wave side. And then we have our curl towards and then away from the face.
Victoria, thank you for an amazing class.
Thank you for having me. What
Thank
questions?
you, go ahead.
I was going to say, do we have any questions before we sign off? No? All right. If you have anything specific, feel free to DM me on Instagram. I'm happy to answer any questions that way. Anything product, tool, or class wise, email Willie and he'll get you signed up for our next classes. I hope you all enjoyed everything and you have a wonderful day, and I'll be seeing you all soon.
Thank you, Victoria. Amazing. Thanks for spending the last hour with us. And thank you for the amazing work and education that you always provide for us. If you haven't followed Victoria, go give her a follow on Instagram. She's an amazing human being, but also an amazing educator. And if you haven't registered for our upcoming classes, you can find a full schedule, not a school schedule, but a full schedule of our classes on caliberprocorp.com. Victoria, thank you, and I'll see you Sunday.
Yes, you will. I'll see you Sunday. And if you're in Columbus, come by our booth and say hi. We'll love to see you at the hair show.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye. Great job, Victoria. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day. I'll see you Sunday.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.